Hello, everybody. We got the Northwest in here. We got the Northeast in here. We got the Southwest in here. And we got the South in here. What's going on, guys?
What's up?
Nothing new. How about you?
Yeah, just it's a bit of football day. Football and X-Files.
Oh, well, y'all talk football.
Nah. Well, hey, Scarecrow, didn't you want to
Yes.
have some topic you want to talk about there?
Do I have anything I want to talk about? All kinds of stuff.
Well, go for it.
Okay. How's everybody doing on the food shortages for the winter? You guys all set?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. 'Cause-
Yep.
Good enough for now.
Right. According to the MSN, it doesn't look good for the near future. Looks like there's going to be a lot of bare shelves.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, what's the price of a pound of ground beef where y'all are? Because I've been seeing like $8, $7, $8. People are talking about.
$6 here.
About
We
11. About
Yeah.
11.
Well,
40.
we still got the tube. You can get the tubes really cheap. What is it, like 80%, or 20% fat. They used to be like $1.99. Now they're like $4.50 for like a 1 pound, tube of it.
Is that real meat?
Yeah, it's real meat. It's just frozen.
Tubes of real meat.
Yeah.
That sounds good, fellas. Tubes of real meat.
Yeah. Well, I mean, anytime a lot of times with ground beef, so it's like bacon, once you fry it up, it just shrinks a lot, and there's a lot of oil and fat and stuff in there, and that's why the bacon just lately, what I've seen is it's mostly fat, and it's like $7.50 for a pack of bacon now, and it's crazy.
Mm.
12 strips.
Is that
Well,
from
you
a
strain
store
all
or
that
from a
fat.
farm?
No, it's from store.
You strain that fat through some cheesecloth, and I like to put it in little baby food jars and put it in the refrigerator.
There you go. Yeah, I've used it before.
There you
There's
go.
Stephanie Kerr. I did not check my email tonight.
Oh, boy.
Sorry. Hope you. Yeah, I'll check it after the stream. Thanks for showing up, Stephanie. Yeah, but there's. I mean, they're talking about it here in the Northwest. Shortages still. It sucks to have not prepared for this. I mean, people have had warning for 2 years to prepare. Or even longer, and I don't feel sorry for people that didn't. Prepare. But we'll see what happens. And
You're not going to share?
what's that?
You're not going to share?
Hell no. Well,
Oh.
if my neighbors needed something, sure, but if somebody shows up in my house and they're hungry, I'm like, no, hell no.
You'd be out there with your
Got some Smith and
double barrel shotgun saying get away.
My precious metals, yeah, right.
Hey, and just a friendly reminder, right now is the time to be planting your garlic.
Remo.
Planting. The ground's frozen here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
we
yeah,
haven't
that's
got
true.
kind of freezing quite yet. Sure.
7, 8 inches down, though.
Well, garlic's fine. Garlic can take a good freeze. Just cover it up with some leaves or whatever, and it grows. It does its thing.
Really? Wow. Around here, the frost goes down to 4 feet.
Oh, shit. Okay. I stand corrected there. 4
There's
feet.
Patriot. How you doing, buddy?
That's why all the foundations and the footings are always set at 4 feet or deeper when you're building a house.
You guys got a lot of clay up there in your area?
Not where I live.
Well, yeah.
I live in the Granite State.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. Yeah. No, there's a lot of clay out here. nobody has a basement around here.
Oh, no, people do in the North Country because the main reason is you got to build below the frost line. Otherwise, your house will shift.
Right. So, anybody in chat prepared? I know Patriots probably prepared with food and everything else.
Well, there's a possibility of lockdowns coming in the future.
Yeah, I was thinking today. What is it? Omicron, and I was thinking today. I was like, that sounds like a Decepticon. Remember the Transformers? Omicron is a
No,
Decepticon, man, and
it,
that kind of makes sense. you
you remember on that cartoon Futurama? They
Oh
had
yeah.
the guy. He was like the ruler of Omicron Persei
Oh
6
yeah.
or whatever that was.
Yeah.
It's the same word. Yeah.
Well, I know it's a Greek letter. They skipped one, I think. I'm not up on Greek letters. Um, Omega and Alpha, Delta, Theta, but I mean, I never got into learning the Greek alphabet. I kind of missed Greek in high school. But yeah, I did see today the Fed chairman in Atlanta, head of the Atlanta Federal Reserve, said that don't expect inflation to go down until like late next year, fourth quarter maybe. So
Yeah. And
yeah,
wait till next year gets here, they'll tell you the same thing.
right. But
You won't see any inflation going down as long as this administration's in office.
no, not as long as they keep
Yeah,
printing money and printing money after money after
right.
money. No way.
Exactly.
Hey, you guys got any Amazon places around you? I saw there were some people, protesting outside Amazon. I mean, we got that one being built up here. There was nobody out there protesting because it's not even built yet. But
No, none around here.
stop buying from Amazon, people. So, what do you got, Watcher? What's going on down in the south?
Nothing new. Same old, same old. It's getting chilly every once in a while though. It might freeze soon.
Yeah, I was watching a little bit. I think it was last night. Green Greg's there. He's down, just north of Huntsville or whatever in Alabama, and he said it was, I think it was 30 some, lower 30s there, which is crazy for, because it was like he was showing a map and it was like 34 up somewhere in Canada, and it was colder in Alabama than it was up in Canada. Jeez. And we've been pretty cold, and then today, we got a warm front coming in. We didn't get much rain down here, but Seattle and that area, they're just getting flooded out again. It looks like they're just getting hammered by rain. But yeah, it's nice to actually, be in the middle of November or at the end of November and have 59-degree weather. Very unusual.
Currently, we're standing at 51 down here, I think.
Oh.
51
Which isn't
right
bad.
now? Nice.
Yep,
Got
51
20,
and partly cloudy.
I got 26.
Ouch.
So
Woodstone's going.
hey,
Go ahead,
JC,
Phil.
what's going on with the ports down there, down in Southern Cal?
Well, I watched. I think I told you this offline earlier in the week, but there's a gentleman that I watched called I Allegedly, and his name is Dan, and he has a channel called I Allegedly, and he's in SoCal along with Jeremiah Babe, who's up in Palm Desert, Palm Springs. But he said he went down there. I want to say Monday or Tuesday. He's a business guy, he does conferences, so he's all over SoCal during the week. And he was talking to a couple of the people that observe the ports, I guess, or whatever, look at the ports all the time or watch what's going on down there. And they said between 40 and 50% of the cranes are idle. in Long Beach. Cranes that are taking containers off the ships. So what I don't
That's
understand,
insane.
yeah, I don't understand is, well, um, good old Schmo Binkin says we're going to go 24/7 in the ports over there. Not that he has anything to do with running operations in Long Beach, but there was supposed to be this thing about 3 or 4 weeks ago said we were going 24/7 in the ports. Well, 40 to 50% of and these were observed. This isn't just speculation. This was observed that they estimated between 40 and 50% of the cranes were completely vertical parked, not operational in that port.
And this
So
has been going on for 3 months.
I suspect it's probably been going on longer than that. I don't know.
Wow.
But this was last week. His acquaintances down there that observe the ports all the time. They live close there, close in LA County or south of LA County, near Long Beach, and they go out and watch what's going on. And these are trusted sources of his, and he reported that they estimated, looking at the whole operation down there, that 40 to 50% of the cranes were completely vertical parked, locked in position, not being utilized. So that just tells me that it's all by design.
Right.
So
Yeah,
Well,
I believe that.
I'd like to know. You're not hearing much about it, but I did read an article yesterday. It was somewhere down in L.A. It wasn't a local TV station. It wasn't the L.A. Times because I'm not paying to do that. But they said there's a ton of empty containers down there. In the Long Beach, and how are we exporting, right? If we can't get all this shit off the, are we loading shit to send to China and other places in the world? What about our grain? It's already been harvested. Aren't we sending that out of West Coast ports? Not hearing about any of that. Where's
18
export?
million, 18 million barrels of oil are going over.
Yeah. We can get into that later. That freaking thing I dropped in Discord earlier, man,
They
just
got a
pissed
way
me.
to get that out.
Yeah. Yeah. Well.
That's bullshit.
yeah,
Well,
and
they keep talking about all these all these shortages and all this stuff, but isn't all the stuff we're short on sitting, offshore, waiting?
I think so.
I mean, I keep seeing reports of all them ships sitting out there, and they won't let them come to port.
well, they
Yeah.
can't moor them unless they can move them in and out. So they get a big clog in the ports there in the stream. So there's only limited space for those big ships to come in a few at a time. And if the cranes aren't operational, or half of the cranes aren't operational, that's probably adding days, if not weeks, to how worse it already is.
And is that a product of a longshoreman strike? Why the cranes aren't running?
You don't know that. They couldn't figure that out, but they don't
If they
understand.
were on strike, we would have heard about it by now.
Yeah.
That'd be the first thing to be pointing fingers at.
Well, they're not using the cerveza bug excuse. That's for sure. They haven't heard that. So I don't know if it's the usual suspects are, it's a truck driver shortage, it's a truck shortage, it's a chassis for the container shortage, but I haven't heard any of them say that the cranes are idle. So I think it's designed opposition, if you will. It's
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah, and
And who would be in charge of that? Anybody know that?
what's that?
Is Pete Buttigieg in charge of that?
Usually the port of Los Angeles runs the whole operation down there, just like
Or on the federal level? What at the top, the very top? Who would that be?
DOT.
Okay, Deputy Buttigieg.
Yeah, Buttigieg, and then of course your USDA and FDA, not FDA, but USDA runs a big part of that. Has the federal regulations, the ports.
Uh-huh.
OSHA has a big play in it, believe it or not. So, and of course the unions. So that's all union up there.
There's another key player in this too, is you know, the TWIC card, the place
Yeah.
where you go to get your TWIC card, if they're shut down due to mandates or mask restrictions or something like that, if people can't get their TWIC card, they can't go to work.
That's right. You need a trick for the ports. So,
Sure do.
yep, I know all about it.
And that's not a regular ID place either. You have to go to the TWIC office, you know?
Right, but I'll tell you, there's a guy out here. He's from L.A. that I watch. He's a trucking dude, and he's been primarily a port runner for decades, and he has his own fleet. He's he's got his own company. He's got his own fleet of trucks that he brings on, guys that he brings on with their own trucks, and he's been complaining for months and months and months. The reason I bring him up is because a lot of the truckers the majority of your 18-wheel truck drivers do not work the ports because of the hassles and the TWIC cards and everything else. But there's a whole selection of drivers that operate these ports, so they're used to it. But if they're not offloading and they don't have, even if they had the chassis for the containers, if they're not offloading, there's no freight to move out. So why would you, even if you work the ports as a truck driver, why would you even work the ports if you got to sit there for days waiting for a load? That's stupid. There's no money to be made that way.
Right. And Patriots says, didn't Florida open up their ports? Yeah, but they gotta drive them big ass boats and pay their people to go down the coast through the Panama Canal. That's going to add more cost, and people probably already paid up front, and I can't even imagine the back end of the expenses that these shipping companies are paying for their ships to just sit out there. They're paying their employees. They're having to feed them. Keep them busy.
Also, I mean, if they just came from, Europe or Asia and motored all the way over here, if they can't get to port to get more fuel, they can't get around the Panama Canal, can they?
Right. And I don't know if they have tankers, oil tankers like they do in the, in the Navy, where you can, send a oil tanker tender or whatever they call them. James would probably know better, but go out there and shoot one of those, lines over to the other boat and then hook up the fuel.
Like a refueling ship, yeah.
Yeah, right. I don't know if they have that for, container ships or commercial ships. So.
Well, that's run by the Military Sealift Command, MSC. They run the tankers. It's civilians on government ships, basically. It's called Military Sealift Command. They run all the tankers that come out and fuel the combatant ships and all that, Navy ships.
Oh, that's what MSC. Okay.
Yeah, Military Sealift Command. But and there's civilians that are on government ships, and all civilian crews. They're once in a while, depending on the mission or the tasking of the Military Sealift Command ship, they will have active military on them, but not a lot of them. They're mostly all DoD employees, all civilians working for the federal government. It's actually a good paying job, real good paying job. But yeah, it's Military Sealift Command.
Yeah, good paying if you like to be out on a boat with getting seasick. Crap. Thanks.
Well, Jimmy would like it, probably. But yeah.
No,
Yeah, well, that's the deal, and I'm sure there's non-military Sealift Command boats out there that can fuel these boats up, because they have a lot of these big boats have diesel reserves, but they're running on marine fuel, so it's when they're parked and they're not running the engines, of course, that's saving a lot of fuel. So realistically, they don't need a lot of fuel out there sitting out there if they're anchored. If they're anchored, they're not running the engines. So
yeah, they're just running generators. But
yeah,
my whole thing was they're going to need, if they want to motor down and go around the Panama Canal, they need bunker fuel.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So, I mean, not just your average diesel.
Well, see, the thing is these are contracted point to point. So let's say they're contracted from large Asian nation to Long Beach. So that's not just okay. Well, we can't get in here. We'll go around the Panama Canal. That's a whole new contract. That's a whole new
Hey,
funding.
tinfoil.
Well,
So
if they come all the way over here from China, they'd probably do that.
well, the thing is, they're also contracted to when they say they have 2,000 containers on that boat. They're contracted to take 2,000 empties back. That's the contract. So it's
Right.
not as easy as you would think. So
Right.
Well, and not only that, James. The last job I had, when we got bought out by a publicly traded company, let's say, we were a company of 49 employees, and we were getting cheap crap accessories that were made in China, and come to find out, once they did all the analytics on it and cost analysis, it was cheaper to send them to our subsidiary from China to by boat, because we were buying containers, so it would go from China around Cape Horn there of Africa, go to the UK, and then be put on another boat from the UK to New York, and then or put on a rail across. It was cheaper to do it that way than it was to directly import it to the West Coast from China. I mean, the logistics and people getting their little piece of the pie on every single part of the transportation and logistics system was causing that, and we had to wait just a little bit longer, but it was cheaper. We made more
Is
market
it
stuff.
is it because one company was charging too much, or somebody was putting a little too
No,
much in their pocket, or?
it's I mean, I was in the ID card industry, ID card printers and software and access control, security cameras and all that kind of stuff. And it was always like badge holders and badge clips and lanyards and all that crap. I mean, they were dirt cheap. I mean, you sell 10, 50 lanyards, you're not, and you're selling them at 10 cents a piece. You're not going to make a lot of money anyway. So yeah. But I've got a lot of experience with the logistics. Running warehouse for quite a few years, 2 different warehouses, and then working in my last job. I had a little bit to do with it, but
I always like them big plastic ones that open on the top, with a little flip top, but they were waterproof, so if you were working out on a dock or something, it starts raining, you keep you a couple of cigarettes in there, man, you're good to go.
yeah. Well, we had the FIPS 201 compliant, which FIPS 201 was after 9/11, they basically made every government ID card have to be the same across military and civilian workers and stuff. And the government bought a lot of them from us, that's for sure. And there's a large aviation company in Seattle, and we used to make a lot of money off that. But the other crap, it really didn't. It was a convenience thing for.
So I got a big question. When you start going to the stores and you can't get widgets, you can't get food, you can't get meat, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I mean, that's a big question right now, because I don't think people realize. I'm sure I don't think people realize where we're heading with this. Especially with this new development this week with the new version of the Magic Dragon that came out. If y'all know what I'm talking about. So,
Magic Dragon?
Yeah, the Magic Dragon.
The Decepticon, man, come on.
Yeah, can't say the word on here, but
I see. All right.
Right.
We have to talk in code.
Yeah. I don't think people realize where we're going, and we're going pretty quick. And I if you can't answer that question, you better figure out some answers pretty quick, because I'm already seeing it. I talk about my Patriot Supply, right? And I just placed another order today.
Do they have many items that are backloaded?
They have quite a few that are sold out now.
Yeah.
They can't replenish them. And
yeah, I'm not surprised.
I'm checking them every week, and the list is getting longer. So when you get down to the emergency food supplies and survival gear companies that aren't replenishing or can't replenish, you're in trouble. You're in big trouble. So, because that's like, most Americans don't, unless you're a prepper or preparedness type person, you're not, you don't care about My Patriot Supply or Four Patriots or, Augustin Farms. You don't care about that stuff. But when those companies start coming up short, we're in big trouble.
Right.
Because then when you get to the panic level, people are like, oh my God, run, Forrest, run. What am I going to do? Where do I go? I'm going to starve. Oh, shit. Oh, my God. Oh, shit. Right? What are you going to do? Where are you
City
going to go?
people. City people,
Yeah,
mostly.
that's true. That's true, Scarecrow. Yeah, that's
I'd like to hear what the chat thinks about that,
Yeah.
if they have any plans.
Yeah.
As the
Like
four
what?
of us, we've talked enough to where we kind of know. We've mentioned this to each other already, but I'd like
yeah.
to know
We
what
are
chat thinks.
we are seriously looking at wood cook stoves.
Yeah.
Ones that have an oven.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you're in an area where again, I'm not going to say where you're at. We all know where you're at, but you're in an area where a good wood stove is not going to be a problem. It's probably one of the smartest damn things you can have where you're at. And
Yeah, we have a wood stove now, but we're thinking about getting one that's also has an oven.
You
Yeah.
can probably find one used up there, but down here, those are not readily available.
Yeah, you would. I don't think you'd find one out here in the Northwest either. It just doesn't, But
Well,
that's old school, man. That's 1800s, man. That's cool. I mean, that would be awesome to
but
have.
Yeah,
that's part
they
of the
make new ones that are energy efficient. You can get burn times up to 14 to 15 hours.
yeah. Well,
Plus,
that's part.
you get the radiant heat off of it, right? Because it's
Right,
got cast iron, right?
right. He'll heat majority of your house.
Right.
Well, I think
You can always make an ugly barrel, 55-gallon drum, and
Yeah,
there's
but
ways
you could do
to
that,
do it.
but they eat up a lot of wood.
or you could just like Scarecrow said last week, you just go find an abandoned house and start fires in it, like those people.
Yeah,
Set the
that
house
really
on fire,
happened.
right? But,
Uh,
yeah, but I think that's part of the
looks like
problem process, man.
it looks like tinfoil's already set up there.
There you go. There you
I
go.
know
See,
I know she's probably
people,
set.
right? Like you said, Augustin Farms dinner pack emergency food storage kit, 15 pounds, 8.1 ounces was $71. Then out of stock, back in stock at 105, back down to 71. Just ordered one today. Yeah. Well, Augustin Farms is not producing for about the next 70, 75 days. They shut down for 90 days about 2, 3 weeks ago. They're not producing. So
And where are they at? Where are they out of?
I can't remember where their main operation is. I want to say Utah, but I'm not sure.
I haven't
I
heard.
hope I hope they're not getting their food overseas. That company.
No. This is all Augustin Farms is harvested here. But
Okay,
My Patriot Supply is based in Utah. Four Patriots is based in Tennessee.
and their ingredients are from America.
As far as I know, yeah. The stuff I've gotten from My Patriot Supply all has made in USA. So
It seems funny that right at this time that they're closing down. That's why I asked that.
well, they can't get they can't get the from the farming, from the droughts and everything else. They can't get the raw materials to process to
Hmm.
make into survival food. So there's shortages everywhere. I mean, just the last year and a half, whatever, 18, 19, 20 months. Look at all the cattle that they've culled. Look at all the chickens that they've killed. They're look at all the land that Gilly Bates has bought up. That's not regular. It's actually not functional farms, not functional land at this point, as far as I know. But
Yeah.
and in case anybody doesn't know, Gilly Bates is up to 2.6 million acres now. In case you didn't know.
In what state?
I can't quote you the states right. I'm going to say He's got some in Texas, Nebraska, Iowa,
Well,
Oklahoma. I'm just going off the top of my head.
so right, a lot of it in the heartland.
Oh yeah, sure.
Wow.
Well, and James out here, you guys know that they're building I live out in farmland here, and they're building the Amazon distribution center, biggest in Oregon. It's not going to be completed by Christmas, or not even close. But the farmer that sold that land, he sold it. I was talking to somebody one of my contacts up in the next city over, and said he sold it for like $2.7 million. It was 100, I think it was 110 acres, and they were growing corn there every couple of years, but they were growing cauliflower, broccoli, garlic some years, onions, and that land's gone. It's not going to be producing. So
Y'all want to know where they're from?
what's that?
They are in the capital city of a state whose the only capital city has 3 words in it. Any guesses?
Who's in that?
Augustin Farms.
Oh,
There's a state. It's the only state whose state capital has 3 words. That's where they are.
SLC.
Salt Lake City, man. Come on.
SLC.
Yep.
I was going east to west there, man.
Yep, they're in Utah.
Yeah.
Did you guys see that thing I put in Discord? Biden wants to increase fees for drilling on public lands. Way to go there, Joe. And I think Stephanie was saying something earlier about that. That petroleum reserves there, which we shouldn't be tapping into. And what was it, 51 million barrels of oil, and we use 18 point something per day. It's like it's not going to make any effect on gas prices, man. It's just freaking crazy.
Oh, and what was that thing they were talking about in Florida? They wanted to do like $1 billion or whatever thing for gas prices in Florida to ease the cost of gas.
Oh yeah, they're going to cut taxes down there.
Yeah, it's
That's
like
a
$1
big
billion
deal.
with 15 million drivers. It's only like $66.
Well,
I
it's better
forget
than nothing.
exactly how much.
Well, it's more than any other governor has done.
That's true. That's true.
It's a start.
Something's better than nothing. I'll give them that.
I think people really ought to start thinking, because it's going to get tight. It's going to get real freaking tight. And these supply chains that are, for whatever reason, the supply chains are suffering right now. You take your pick, pick your poison, whatever you want to believe. But I think if people are not, whatever resources you have right now, financially, whatever, you better start thinking, okay, well, because I do think that this new special version of the Gatorade juice fiasco thing that popped up this week, I think it's going to. I think they're heading for. I think I said this on Discord or Signal or whatever I said it today, but it's mimicking the same kind of vibe that March and April of 2020. It's the same vibe,
Right.
and they've had the other ones that have popped up and just been okay. Well, they're just versions of the other one, but this one they're pushing hard, and countries around the world are reacting specifically hard towards this one. And
Well, hey,
I
New York governor declared a state of emergency because of it this morning, and that's like, okay, so she's going to play the Cuomo game and declare a state of emergency. And how long is that state of emergency going to last in New York? I'm not from New York, but it happened here in Oregon where our governor kept extending it all the time, and she didn't have the power. But our liberal piece of shit
well,
legislature never stood up to it.
California, Michigan,
Yep.
Oregon, Washington. Did I say Chicago, Illinois, New York? Take your pick. They've all operated pretty much as mirrors of each other during this whole fiasco bullshit. So, what do you think's coming next? So, if New York does it, what do you think's coming next? So, and y'all know where I'm at.
California probably, and then of
All
course,
Democratic cities are
yeah,
states.
So,
That would be my guess.
and that I'm anxious to see what Florida
Two
does.
states.
I'm anxious to see what Florida does on this one because that's going to be a huge fight. That's going to be I think the biggest fight for DeSantis. He's going to have to fight. I think that's going to be his biggest battle because this one, I'm telling you, I'm feeling it. I don't know if you guys are feeling it, but I'm feeling it, man. They're playing this one up. So,
Yep.
and this one, according to what's being put out there, uh, this one's kind of special. This one's kind of special. So,
well, aren't travel bans from Africa? Isn't that racist? Weren't they saying that of Trump and xenophobia?
That's what
You
Pelosi was saying. Yeah,
yeah,
that's
Yeah.
right.
racist
But
and it's discriminatory and stuff.
yeah, yeah.
right,
They said
yeah,
the same thing about the southern border, but they continued building that
Yeah,
fence type
but
structure, didn't they?
right. And how many illegals from Africa, made it to Mexico and crossed the border? We don't know. They could have brought it with them, and yeah, I mean, there's no
but
data
the
so
but
far.
the northern border was the northern border has been closed. They just recently opened it.
Yeah,
I'll tell
right.
you.
Figure that out.
Here's my $1.98 opinion. Okay, and I don't want anybody to take this the wrong way.
Isn't that kind of expensive, man?
What? What?
$1.98.
No, he's giving them opinion to the exact cost of a small tube of. Well, never mind.
Crisco works best. But anyway, so the here's the thing. And again, this is in my humble opinion, but if the world starts traveling by me at 103.6 miles an hour, if I got food and I got water and I got power and I got cash and I got some form of mobility, I don't give a shit how fast the new version of whatever is traveling by me. I don't care. And I think people need to change their mindsets on that because if you're not looking at, like, to me, I've got now 4 farms. Okay. 4 farms in my county. Actually, it's covering 2 counties in my region, in my area. Okay. There's 4 farms now I've identified. 2 I've visited, 2 I have not been to yet. Okay. And these are farms that are, 200, 250, 300 acres. Okay. Minimum. I think the smallest one is 140, something like that. Anyway, but I'm identifying places where I can go and get my nutrition. I can go get my sustainability. I can go get my fruits. I can go get my honey. I can go get my vegetables. I can go get, and every single one of these farms is non-GMO certified. So, if you've got a way to produce power, whether that's a generator, whether that's solar, whether that's wind, whether that's, whatever it is, and you've got food, right? You got food and power, and you got water storage, right? You can go to just about any damn. If you don't want to go to My Patriot Supply or For Patriots, you can go to pretty much any Target or Walmart, and you can get the cheapo versions of the 5-gallon plastic containers to hold water. They run you about $6, $7, $8, $9. Okay, and yeah, they're made in China, but who gives a shit if it's going to hold water, right? You can do these things, and if you get to a point where everything gets completely disrupted, or your favorite stupid dipshit politician, governor, whatever in your state says we got to lock everything down because the federal government says we got to do it, or the governor says you got to do it, wherever else, it's going to take weeks and weeks and weeks to recover from that, right? So if you're not heading in that direction, you need to be, because I'm doing it. One of the guys I watch on YouTube is Alaska Prepper. I don't know if any of y'all watch him, but he does this little thing. I mentioned it before. He does this little thing called Payday Prep, and every
I
time
like watching Canadian Prepper too, by the way.
Canadian Prepper, city prepping, urban prepper, those guys actually have a new channel, new collaboration channel called Think Preparedness. If you haven't found it yet, but it's all four of them on a panel, and we only do live feeds. It's called
Well,
Think.
I got a question. What are all these? We're seeing all these protests around the world, and they ain't crap happening here. What are these preppers? Well, why are they prepping? Why aren't they doing? I'm just rhetorical question. Why aren't they getting involved and taking back their liberties instead of prepping? Yeah, prepping is part of it, but I've watched some of them too, but they never talk about solutions of. We had another flag wave kind of Patriot rally again today east of Portland in Oregon City, and there was like 50 people there. It was like I don't know what good that does. It's in a conservative part of the area, so it's not they're preaching to the choir. Really, is what they're
Well,
doing.
I'll give you a prime example. Okay, I'll give you. Hopefully, this will partially or answer your question, Bill. You know the Prepared Homestead, right? I sent you a link to him before, Travis. He's in
Yeah,
the Ozarks. Okay,
yeah.
the Prepared Homestead. Okay, now this guy, his name is Travis. The name of the channel is called The Prepared Homestead. Okay, good guy. He's in the Ozarks in Missouri. Okay, now this guy fits the description or the desire of what you were just talking about, Bill. He's got monthly meetings. Okay, and he's actually on the verge of having to do 2 monthly meetings now. The last meeting he had 340 people at, and they're coming from all over the country, and they're not just prepping, they're homesteading, they're prepping, they're Second Amendment, First Amendment. They're having all these meetings and they're networking. So to answer your question, and I know a lot of the prepper channels, I agree with you. A lot of the prepper channels are just talking about prepping. Go out and buy your food, do this, do that. How do you camp in the woods? How do you bushcraft? Okay, these are all vital skills, right? But
Sure.
this guy Travis is actually walking the talk, and he's doing exactly what you're talking about. He's in combination with being prepared and homesteading and all that, but he's in combination with liberty and freedom, and his meetings are getting so large that he's going to start having 2 a month now, and they're coming from all over the country to go to his meetings. So why can't we do that in everything west of the Mississippi? Why can't we do that in everything east of the Mississippi? This is what needs to happen because you're going to need those networks. You're going to need those connections. You're going to need those resources. You're going to need to have those barter networks, whatever they're going to be. And
Yeah, I dropped the link in chat. You're welcome.
we can beat the drums forever and ever, and sit on live panels and talk about it forever. But nobody wants to connect. Nobody wants to build these databases of resources and skill sets, either regionally or through different states. Nobody wants to do it. So as far as I'm concerned, full campfire, I don't give a shit. Whatever.
Yeah.
I know what I'm doing. I know
Well, it's hard to get sheeple to unbury their head. I mean,
yeah.
they put their head under the blanket and just go la 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 with their ears and their fingers in their ears, and I don't want to hear it. Blah 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 blah.
Well, around here, outside of the cities, most people live like that all the time.
Yeah, I mean it's like that everywhere until it hits home for them, and then they start crying about it.
Exactly, but you know what that's going to lead to, right? If it's already too late. I mean, look at all these mass smash and grabs that are going on around the country. With these organized groups going in and stealing shit. If you don't think that may be coming, it hit a Chicago suburb the other day. If you live anywhere near a city, thank God I'm far enough away from Portland that I don't think I'd have to worry about it in my area. But yeah, if you're a suburbanite living outside of a big city, yeah, you gotta be prepared for sure. Because as you said, it's not gonna click with most people. And I've talked to James about this before. 98% of the country is gonna take a sledgehammer over their head to finally go, oh crap, this is affecting my entire life. I'm gonna
Well, the
lose.
thing is, they're smash and grabbing at Nordstrom, at Ralph Lauren, That doesn't mean anything. That's useless items that they're getting. Wait until they're fucking hungry. Sorry, Mom. Oops.
No,
Wait
you,
until they're hungry. Wait until
Didn't
they
they get
get
an Apple
truly
store also?
desperate. Right.
So you see
But
that?
wait until they get truly desperate and they're hungry and their kids are hungry and see if they don't go somewhere else other than Nordstrom, you know?
Right.
Then they'll
Right.
be going to people's houses.
Well, I like that.
Especially if they know that you prep and you have a pantry full of, jars of food. Of course they
Or if you
will.
live, yeah, they'll be going to the rural areas. There'll be
The
there'll
local
be
farm.
there'll be bodies laying somewhere.
Well, you see that comment by Hexafus, right? That's a resiliency right there. That's a bartering. That's networking. You see that. Everybody sees that on the screen, right? I
Yep.
just made contact with a small farm owner that raises cattle. I did some construction work for them. Well, there you go. Okay. Now multiply that about 50 times, right? Now what do you got? Now what do you got? You got a sustainable network, don't you? Don't you?
The problem
So,
I see, though, is if mass hysteria hits, like the smash and grab situation, that farm is going to get decimated, and then there won't be nothing there
no,
to
but see,
go do
here's
some
the
work
thing.
and barter and trade
Here's
for.
the thing. You're right. You're right. But here's the thing. If you're building those networks and connections now, and you guys are connected, whether you're on a cell phone, whether you're on the Zello app, whether you're on instant communications, whether you're on Signal, whatever else, right? And now you have a network. Say you got a network of a couple hundred people covering a 20 or 30-mile radius, right? Okay. So, everybody's reachable in 30 to 40 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever, right? So now you got people like us that are going to come to the aid of that farmer, right? We're gonna hold the line. That's what needs to happen, man. And people need to, stop being fucking pussies. Sorry, Mom, but people need to stop being pussies and step up and just
Well,
say,
the
okay,
amount of people that will be headed to that farm to do nefarious things versus the amount of people that care about that farm and are willing to protect it, it's apples and oranges, dude, and you know it.
okay,
Especially if it's within 20 minutes of a big city, right?
but why aren't we building it though? Why aren't we building it? I'm not hearing about anybody who's doing it. Why aren't we building it? We got to be willing to, the easiest day was yesterday, bro. Okay,
I understand and I agree.
easiest day was fucking yesterday. I don't give a shit. Okay, I'm tired of hearing all these fucking stories. Sorry, Mom, I'm off on a rant. You can
you're
slap
fine,
me,
buddy.
but I mean, come on. Let's
Mom,
stop
hit mute for a second.
on here. Okay, I keep hearing stories about this and that, smash and grab, this and that. The ports ain't working. Blah 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 blah. We're getting consumed. We're getting consumed, and we're getting melted into the fucking walls here. Okay, we're not doing shit. We're not doing shit. So who's going to be the whiners and criers and complainers and I need more fucking lube from Costco, right? Who's gonna be in that fucking crowd? Huh?
Right.
People show up on my doorstep. You know what I'm gonna have? I'm gonna have at the ready at my door? 5-gallon jugs of fucking Crisco. That's what I'm gonna fucking have. Here,
I
here's
was
some
going to say the dog, but yeah, either way.
fuck. Let me get off of here, man. Fuck.
No, you're cool, dude. Don't worry about it. Sometimes people need to get kicked in the ass, and when we're talking about getting involved with groups, it's like I've been involved with a couple groups, and one was local here in Oregon, and it just petered out. There was no willingness to continue to drive on. It was well, if shit hits the fan, we're going to go to the mountains, and we're going to survive up there. It's like, yeah, everybody's thinking about that. I mean, come on. It's good luck at doing that. Sorry. It's just the
I
truth in
didn't,
my opinion.
JC, I didn't mean to piss you off. Sorry if I did, brother.
Hey, we need some passion. We need some passion. People
Ain't none of you guys pissing me off. I'm just saying, let's get real here, man. Let's get real, because I'm tired of waking up every day and reading the next smash and grab story, reading the next, somebody drove through a fucking parade in Wisconsin. I'm tired of this shit, bro. I'm tired of this. Let's stop. Let's get the formation going here. and okay, I'm going to say it, but I'm sure many people aren't going to listen to it, aren't going to heed it. They don't give a shit. They're oh my god, I got to find fucking something on Black Friday Amazon. Oh shit, oh my god, get the fuck out of here, man. Come on. I mean, Jesus Christ. It's so unrealistic. The world is so unrealistic right now. In many facets, it's so unrealistic. People are living in fucking bubbles, and it amazes me how the stupidity of people. And I just what are you spending your money on? Are you going to go do a stampede at Walmart on Black Friday, or are you going to go get another 5-gallon gas of a 5-gallon container of gas and put it in the back of your house and chain it to your fucking house and put some stable in it so it lasts a long time? Are you going to go, spend $100 on 20 cans of fucking food? Are you going to do that? Are you going to be ready? Are you going to communicate on the DL, right? On the down low? Are you going to create a network, a resilient community? Are you going to do that, man? And that's what's needed, man, because I'm telling you, bro, this shit is coming hard, man. It's coming hard. And
hey, welcome in Truth Seeker Female and President Charlotte sometimes. I mean, she's got a good point there. And I think Americans have become overly apathetic. They're worried about, they fear the government, but which they shouldn't, because then guess what? The government has all the power, which they've had forever. But, it's Americans have become meek, sheeple, and, I think a lot of it has to do with, social media and, oh God, I saw a headline and blah, blah. Did you read the article? No. Well, then, piss off, because the article didn't say what the headline said. It's an indoctrination of people, and conservatives need to start standing up and stop being afraid that people are going to call them racist or homophobic, or I mean, we're seeing pockets of that, in Loudoun County, or different school board meetings, but it needs to explode and just go, we don't give a shit what you think. We're for liberty and freedom and the Constitution. Piss off.
And it's a good idea also to have a I just had it at the tip of my tongue, the radio that picks up shortwave, so because you're not going to be able to trust what's on the local radio station.
Right. Yeah, you can pick up I mean, mine, I think I paid $30 for mine. It's hand crank.
Just get a good receiver.
Shortwave, AM, FM, shortwave 1, shortwave 2. I mean, it's cheap. Battery, crank, or plug into the wall. Really cheap.
Yep. At least you'll have some kind of communication.
Right.
Oh, just to add something to that, y'all know I'm a licensed ham operator, but a couple of the groups that I made contact with in the last couple of weeks, they're going out to because most repeater stations for ham radio are run by volunteers, right? So a lot of the group, I belong to I don't want to say the city, but I belong to a local ham club out here, okay, and they're doing trips out to where they have repeaters, whether they're on in agreements with different localities where they have the repeaters on top of commercial buildings, or they have them on top of mountains or valleys. They're going out and they're doing maintenance on them now, and they're making sure that most of the repeaters nowadays, I'll just say SoCal because there is a lot of sunshine out here. A lot of them have been reconfigured to run on solar backup, on solar battery backup power. So they're going out to clean off the solar panels, make sure everything's good to go. They're doing battery and electrical tests on voltage sustainability on the batteries. The batteries need to be replaced out. And this is all done by volunteers. Okay. Money comes out of my pocket freely to donate to that cause and that service, right? Because we're all a connected network of ham operators in my area. So we're all donating money into a fund, into a kitty that goes in. And if we need to buy new conduit wire, we need to buy new batteries, we need to put new solar panels on it, whatever, we're all donating to that to get that done. But we know that if SHTF happens, being a licensed ham operator, you've got an instant communication network that doesn't need a cell tower, doesn't need the internet, anything. We can communicate. So it's this is, and that's just on the ham radio side, but you were talking about communication. So even if you got, you can pick up if in case you folks don't know, you can pick up GMRS where you don't need a license, not GMRS, but Family Radio Service. FRA, they call them FRS radios. You can pick those up cheap. Okay, you can get them at Best Buy. You can get them at shit. I don't know if there's how many electronic retailers are left out there, but you can get them there. You can, if you have to, you can find them online. You can go to your local ham radio outlet. They're all over the country. HRO, ham radio outlet. It's not just for ham radio. You can buy family radios there. You can buy GMRS. You can buy ham radios, all that shit. But they have all that stuff. And a lot of people don't know about ham radio outlet, but they're all over the country. And you can get gear like that. You don't have to be a licensed ham operator. You don't have to be, you don't have to be, have a license to do that. On Family Radio Service, but some of those FRS radios and GMRS radios that are license free, they'll go miles and miles and miles. Okay, you don't need the internet, you don't need a cell tower. So these are some of the things that people should be, drafting up the plan in their local areas and saying, hey, how shit hits the fan, internet goes down, or power outage, none of the cell towers are working because the diesel generators ran out of fuel. We can't talk on our cell phones anymore. Can't communicate on our cell phones. How are we going to do it? Well, it's mindset, man. It's mindset. And Hexafus made that comment earlier. You got to be able to survive in the mountains and all that. Well, that's a big part of it. Now, I know most people are going to be like, oh my God, there's going to be animals and bugs and snakes and bears and everything in the fucking mountains. Well, okay, yeah, okay. But if you have the skills and you start learning the skills, maybe if you start networking with people, they can go out and do a couple day trips or weekend trips with some people and learn some skills. So maybe you got to bug out there for a couple days until dust settles and then come back to your house or whatever you're going to do. But this shit needs to go on hyperdrive on our side of the equation. It needs to go in hyperdrive because people are starting to just see the surface of the supply chain problems. Okay. And as I said, I think the supply chain problems are designed. They're by design. They're going to keep going. As long as they can shut down more pipelines, drive up the prices. If you're the common person is being priced out of society the way they want to live. You're being priced out. In case you haven't realized it, you're being priced out. It's time right now to get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Right.
You know what I mean by that?
Right.
It's time right now to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. If you don't understand that statement, you got a little learning curve there. But it's time to get comfortable with being uncomfortable because it's coming. It's coming. And
we've been comfortable for too long, man.
Yep.
And they're just now starting to cancel culture so everybody can be comfortable, so the snowflakes won't melt from the heat from the trolls, man.
Well, you don't have to like it, and I wouldn't forget it. Because if you stay comfortable that way, it will never change.
True, but that's what America. I mean, I know everybody
You'll
knows
always-
the Pink Floyd song.
You'll always be comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Right. Well, you see those comments from Patriot and True Seeker Female. They're talking about radios and stuff, right? See, Patriot right there. My neighbor and I have a couple of regular radios. We use them all the time. $30. Boom.
Good.
Easy, right? Because his mindset, hopefully with a lot of other people's, his mindset has shifted. Probably his mindset probably shifted years and years ago, right? But they're thinking forward. They're critical thinking. Okay, if I lose power, what do I do? If I can't go to the grocery store because grocery stores only have 2 to 3 days worth of shit in the store, one day, 4 or 5, 6. What do I do? How do I? It's funny because I was going through this one store the other day, and I was like, man, mac and cheese. I could buy that shit, or I could buy some dry elbow macaroni and one of them big old luscious blocks of Velveeta cheese and make my own shit. So see, my mindset shifted in a matter of seconds. I was like, well, I could buy the pre-box shit. That's what, 2 servings, 3 servings, or I could buy, for probably about the same price or a little bit more. I can get a whole lot more for my money. But it's a mind shift thing, right? Like, do I want to buy water? Do I want to buy bottles of Gatorade? No, I'm gonna go get the Gatorade powder in the orange canister or the green canister, and I can make a whole lot more Gatorade than buying plastic bottles, right? And it's a mind shift. People got to start thinking differently, man. It's you got to start being comfortable with what's uncomfortable, and that's just the way it's going to go. And I'm not, it's not doom and gloom. It's not, crawl into a room somewhere and hide underneath your porch. It's not that. It's just you got to start changing the way you're thinking. And some of us are fortunate to be in certain areas where, that's like turning the light switch on and off. We're prepared. We're in communities. We're in resilient communities. We're all, all that kind of stuff. But majority of the population ain't ready. And the worst thing, here's my in my humble opinion. And I'll ask you guys. I'll ask everybody in chat. What's the worst? The shit hits the fan. You got a power outage, right? You're on day 15 of a power outage. You got a wildfire. You're on day 20 of the wildfire. You're out of water. You're out of food. You can't travel. They pushed you out of your area because of a wildfire or blackouts. People are freezing because of a polar vortex in Texas, right? You're on day 8 of a polar vortex. Everything's shut down. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? That's my thing, man. It's not doom and gloom. It's just being ready. It's just being ready. So, yeah.
Right, and I made it 6 days, last year without power during our ice storm. But I had my trusty hand crank radio and a bunch of batteries, man, so I can listen to the radio.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hey, during that cold storm, we had power. We didn't have water. We were out of water for 9-10 days, something like that.
What did you do? No water.
Oh, we were collecting snow and ice and, runoff from the roof. I don't care if it was a shingled roof. I was collecting it and filtering it through a cheesecloth and then boiling the hell out of it. We were drinking it.
I had no idea you had snow down there.
We were flushing toilets with it.
No kidding.
Oh, dude, it snowed on the no. Damn it, Scarecrow. Got me on that.
I didn't think it.
Yeah,
sorry about that.
It was down to 7 degrees here, man.
I didn't realize it got that cold there, Watcher.
They got affected by that big time.
Galveston Beach on the Gulf of Mexico had snow on it.
And the news was only covering Texas, Louisiana, and I mean, I remember seeing videos of people's pipes bursting in Mississippi. It's like, when you're down south, you know how to deal with that crap. It's like.
But how come you are without water?
Because our pipes busted all over the city. There were main lines, 2 4-foot pipes.
You're on city water. Okay.
Oh yeah.
I didn't realize that. For some reason I thought in my head you were rural.
And then down south, we don't prepare for those extremes. Our municipal water supply isn't buried 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 feet down. It's buried like 2, 3, 4 feet. And it froze, man. I mean, we were below freezing for a long time. And, yeah.
Well, out here where I live, water's not a problem. You could be without electricity and still have water.
Yeah, but a lot of people are stupid and don't even understand that. If the electricity goes out, I can still have water. Sure, if the pumps are still running on a generator, because the water flow. We got pumping. I got like 5 or 6 pumping stations in my city. And it's like, it's they all run off electricity. It's like, geez.
Well, you'll probably laugh at this, but this is true. Around here, they have springs with pipes sticking out of them. So if somebody runs, you can just go and turn the knob, and you got water. It flows automatically under
Well,
no power at all. Good,
when that
clean.
shit happened to us, I had every 5 gallon bucket, every mop water bucket, every container I could find
Right.
collecting drips from, the roof. And I had my flat shovel in the driveway, scraping up, ice and snow and putting that in buckets and hauling it inside and putting it in the tub. And I was doing everything I could, man. We're a family of 5. So, I mean, I got kids,
Sure.
they need to drink and eat and whatever else. So, yep. Got to do what you got to do, man.
That's right.
And the thing is, you got to have skills. You got to have some kind of knowledge of, okay, I need to do this, but how do you do it?
Right. You can't sit in your chair and wait for the government to take care of you.
No, you've got to have some kind of skill set, because other people, I mean, I was helping my neighbors doing the same thing I was doing,
Uh-huh.
So yeah, it got rough here for a little while,
Okay, I see a true seeker female. Thanks for showing up. She's probably working. Yeah, I mean, you got to have skills, and it's like,
Well, hey, Bill, here's one for you. Here's one
what's
for
that?
you. Do you think you could ever really run out of water being on the West Coast?
Only during the summertime.
No,
But then
no.
again, we've got I've got rivers and streams around me, and I got the ponds that are not too far away, and
But what if
yeah,
that? What if
during the
that was
wintertime, no, I can stick a rain barrel out there, but technically it's illegal to trap rainwater in Oregon.
What?
Yeah,
What's up with that?
it's illegal.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's been illegal for I don't know, I want to say 50, 60 years. It's because it's part of the public. It doesn't make any sense, but I mean, they don't have enforcers out. But if
People do that around here. They use it in their garden.
yeah, I mean that's what they used to do back in the old
Well,
days.
it's
So
different
why?
state to state. Remember
What?
that lady in Florida was living off a grid in a neighborhood, and they came and told her that she had to leave her home because she wasn't connected to public utilities.
right?
The state here sells rain barrels.
Oh, that's cool.
So what's the reason that's illegal? Why? What's their reason for that?
I remember years ago looking into it. I have to go back and refresh my memory and find the law, but it's typical liberal Oregon crap. We lost our entire $1 billion+ logging industry because of the damn spotted owl, which is not not a big deal in my opinion. You're going to kill an entire state. I mean, if you look at the coast. Coast range cities, and across the Cascades. There's only a few logging companies, and geez, their mills all shut down too. And it's just all these people are poor. There's no jobs. But that's what the government wants. They want to control everything. And that's
Yeah.
the state I live in, man.
Things they do out there don't make any sense.
Yeah.
Well, what I was getting at, Bill, earlier is you can make you can go get seawater, right? And you can put seawater, boil seawater, and either in a campfire or whatever in your home, whatever. You can put a canopy over it and collect the steam from the heat, right? And now you got fresh water.
Sure.
Right.
Basically, you distill it. Yeah.
Basically, yeah. It's
Yeah.
Well, you
You
can
make
dig
a makeshift distiller and you desalinate the water. Right.
there you go, and you're not getting any salt in the steam. You're not getting virtually almost no salt in the
You
steam.
can dig a hole and piss in it, and put a can in there and cover it up with plastic, and then
That works too. It's called a solar distiller.
right.
Yeah.
You can put a bag around a branch with green leaves on it and collect water that way too.
Or you can just piss in a gallon container and tell people it's Gatorade and sell it for $1 a bottle and shit.
Well, fresh
All
urine
right, Bear Grylls.
is sterile.
Yeah. There's plenty of water in the air. Did you guys know that?
Oh yeah, water vapor. Yeah. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Especially up
water,
here in the Northwest. Jeez.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's a mechanism you can make with like you can jam two 2x4s in the ground about 4 feet apart and wrap and go get a bunch of saran wrap, right? And wrap it from end to end on those 2x4s. Very heavy layers, about 3 or 4 layers, and face it. Make sure it's facing towards the majority part of the sun for the day, and it will actually start because of the heat that gets trapped in there. You put pans or buckets underneath it, and fresh water will drop out of that saran wrap. Fresh water,
Yep.
right from the air and the heat. It's just those skills, those little skills you gotta think. It's doable, but I think most people are not aware, or they don't know, or they don't, we're living in a disposable economy, right? Disposable society. So they'd rather go down to the grocery store and buy bottled water. Shit that comes from the ground and the sky, right? And they figured out how to commercialize it and sell it. They're selling shit that comes out of the sky.
Don't forget now, the bottled water is going to be short supply soon because they're having supply problems with the plastic to make the bottles.
That's right. That's right.
Save your water bottles so you can have something to put it in once you collect it.
Bottled water sells. It's costs more than beer.
Right.
Figure that out.
Right. And I just keyed on this one thing Patriot said, right? He says, heck yeah, always drink the dehumidifier water. I like mine straight out of the bucket, right? Well, think about this, okay? If you went to your local, I don't know what they call it in your state, right? Your little Rite Aid, your Walgreens, your CVS, whatever it is, right? And you went and bought a dehumidifier, right? Well, what does a dehumidifier do? It heats up the water, doesn't it? Turns it into steam, right?
Right.
Okay? So
it's distilled water.
Right, but you've got in a dehumidifier, you've got a device that will sanitize water for you. You don't need any special equipment. It will sanitize that water for you. If you capture that steam, you put something over it that's food grade or something like an oven plate or a oven tray or something like that captures that steam and lets it run off at a 45-degree angle into a cup or a bucket. Now you've got sanitized water from a dehumidifier, don't you? You ever think about that?
Yep.
Same thing for collecting the water from your air conditioners. Well, I know it's wintertime now, but in the South, everybody has an air conditioner. Run that during the summertime. They've all got a drip pan under it with a little pipe, and you collect that, man. That's condensation. That's pure water.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Yeah.
And you get the same thing off of your car, by the way.
Yep. And organizations or entities like the United States Navy have been doing it for many, 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 many decades. And I got to take many cruises on big gray cruise vessels. And as long as we had fuel and we could heat up those boilers, bring that seawater in, desalinate it, we had fresh water all day, every day, 24/7, 365. But we had to have fuel to do it.
And the government buildings that are still operational when everything else is shut down, they're running air conditioners. There is a pipe somewhere dripping clean water.
Right.
Just saying, you can collect it. Because all it's doing is going on the ground. They don't collect it. They don't care.
Yeah.
Walmart, Lowe's, Home Depot, Publix, Rite Aid, whatever, Kroger.
Well, and if
It's
you're
just
in
going on the
dire
ground.
heat, your hot water heater's 55 gallons or more. You can just hook a hose up to it and get water out of that too.
Here's another thing that you may not know about that I'll throw out there. Another little gem for you, okay? Everybody knows where there's a truck stop, right? Like a Pilot, a TA, some of these big truck stops in their area, right? Okay. A lot of these truck stops have RV pumping stations, right? Where you dump and pump the RV stations. A lot of them have free potable water faucets at the dump station. That's just potable water. Okay. Not it's potable water because people want to fill up their tanks at the RV dump station, right? And most truck stops do not charge for that water. And that's free potable water.
So a lot of campsites that have RV hookups and they don't charge for the water also.
That's right. But I mean, something, aside from an RV site or a campsite, you can go to a truck stop and go check out the pump and dump station, and it'll be labeled. It'll be labeled.
Some gas stations still have it too.
Some gas
So you can get water for your radiator or whatever.
That's right. That's right. So, if you think about it, I've watched so many damn videos over the years of, some of them are titled like, "Where would you find water if you couldn't get it from your spigot, from your faucet?" Right? Where would you? I've picked up a lot of these things over the years, but it's. I mean, there's plenty of water on this earth. Plenty of water in storage. Plenty of water naturally. Plenty of water in the sea. I'm not worried about water. I can find water. I'm not worried about it. Now, having storage containers and stuff like that where you can store it and have it, yeah, that's critical. But there is no water shortage in this world. There really isn't. And that's my humble opinion, but there is no water shortage. If you just think about it, if you really think about it, right? There's no.
So I have a question for you.
Mhm.
If water isn't the concern, is food a concern?
Is what a concern?
Food, nourishment.
Sure. But here's
If
how
food wasn't a concern, what would be your main concern? Because I know what mine is.
if food and water weren't a concern,
Right.
what would be my concern? Probably two things. Well, I would lump power in, and I've got that solved anyway. But I would say food, water, and power are my main concerns. But the other thing is, again, I'm not really, if I've got food, water, and power in good storage, I'm not worried about monetary. I'm not worried about having cash. But I am worried about security. Okay. Is my perimeter secure? And do I have mobility? Whether it's my own damn two legs, or is it an electronic bike? Is it an e-bike? Is it a regular bicycle? Is it an electric car? Is it a gas car? Can I get because if shit hits the fan, I'm concerned about security. Okay. For the people that haven't given a shit, don't give a shit, haven't worried about anything, still shopping at Amazon, still standing in lines at the Apple store for 3 days. Those are the people I'm worried about. They're going to come and try to take my shit. So number one is security. Is my perimeter secure? If my perimeter is secure, okay, good to go. But do I want to stay in the midst of the shit hits the fan? Do I want to stay in the midst? So I think outside of those other three, mobility. Do I have a plan A, a plan B, a plan C, a plan D for exiting where I'm at? Can I safely get the hell out of where I'm at to a safe, stable place? So security and mobility. And if I have that along with my food, water, and power, which I do have, I'm good to go. That's my answer. Because I'm worried about the people. I'm worried about the people that didn't give a shit and don't care. Because they're going to be the ones knocking on your door. They're going to be the ones breaking down your front door. They're going to be the ones.
They're going to be the most dangerous, right?
They're going to try to steal your chickens. They're going to try to steal your goats. They're going to try to break in your house and go into your deep freezer and steal your shit because they're starving.
And that goes back to what I was saying earlier. Security is mine also. And if I'm prepping and saving, I ain't telling a whole lot of people what I got.
That's right.
I want my people around me or anyone to be aware that I have dogs, and that needs to be their concern.
Mm-hmm. Well, security is real high up there, especially if you're in a single home or you're in a home and you got some property, you got a little bit of land or property around you, you got assets. If people can smell it, see it, hear it, and they don't have it and they're starving, guess what? So security is huge, man. Security is huge. And that's, even if you're not skilled in security yourself, that's why I've been beating this horse for, don't take that personally, but I've been beating this horse for so long, is to build these networks and these connections with people, barter networks, communications networks, resources and skill sets resources. That's why I've been saying it forever. And even if you're not skilled with precious metals, if you know what I mean, if you're not skilled with food storage, if you have a network where you can sustain it and rely and be, have it reliable and sustain it amongst a close knit network that's on the down low, that you guys know what you know and nobody else needs to know, then you're in a lot better position. But
That's right. It's bartering. If you're not good with security, but you do have food, feed people to keep you secure, and vice versa.
Right.
I mean, you might be able to protect somebody else's home, if you had that skill set.
Right. Right. I know I'm sucking a lot of oxygen out of the room here, so I'm going to mute out. Let you guys talk.
No, no worries. What do you got to say, Scarecrow?
A lot that I probably shouldn't say on here
Okay.
because
you work
I
for
don't
the.
want. Yeah, no, because
No, I was gonna say the Fed.
out here where I live, I don't want to say get your channel shut down.
Yeah.
All right, out here where I live, it's going to take if something like that happens, there's a group of people. How to say this is a large group of people here, very large. And it'll take
Are they
they'll
well
take
regulated?
they'll take a regular army to stop people from coming to trying to steal your stuff.
Right. Well, we probably should stop it.
Did I
Right
put
there.
that eloquently?
Yeah. I wouldn't talk about that too much on here.
No.
Yeah.
But
JC, you mentioned
we're
transportation.
not too. I'm just saying we're not too concerned about being looted here. I'm not talking stores. I'm talking about when the shit hits the fan. Because I belong to what's something,
Okay.
and
I don't know any more about. I don't hear
right.
Scarecrow.
And
A
that's
nice, well-regulated group of friends.
everybody should be in one of those. Let me tell you that right now.
Right.
If you fear your safety, and living in a city, if you need that, if you're not living in the city.
So Scarecrow, you don't even have to worry about being comfortable with uncomfortableness, do you? Probably not. You're good to go.
I trust it.
Yeah, there you go. And that's so far ahead on the power curve than 95% of the nation. That's a good thing. But yeah, we don't need to know any more about that on this platform. But yeah, that's a good thing, man. Good for you.
If you ever want to talk about it off this platform, I'm more than willing.
Mm-hmm.
If you,
Watch
I don't
whatever
want to see Bill get shut down.
right.
So, JC, you mentioned transportation. If the fan it gets dirty, gas and things like that, are going to be in short supply. Transportation might be an issue, right?
Right. Well, that's where I go into game mode. Okay. If I don't have my own form of transportation, this is just something that I've done. Okay. And most people know their areas. They know their state routes. They know their highway. They know their interstates, right? They know where they're at, right? Most people know that, right? I would think, right? But this is where I go into game mode. If I got to hop on an Amtrak, if I got to hop on a trolley, well, I got trolleys out here. I don't know if they got trolleys where you're at, but if I got to hop on a trolley, if I got to hop on a bus, okay, I'm going to go gray man. I'm going to blend in. Now,
Yep.
if I got to take 3 or 4 trips on some kind of form of public transportation to get me and my stuff and my gear to where I got to go, I'm going to look like everybody else on that bus or that train. But I'm going to make trips if I have to. I have, believe it or not, I have an electric scooter that I actually replaced all the parts on it and rebuilt it, put a new motor on it and a new chain on it, and it runs on batteries that I can charge with my solar panel, or I can plug them into a wall outlet. I can go to a gas station and use an outlet on the side of a gas station if I have to, right? I also have a cart, okay? And I got my pup, right? So I can put him in the cart and pull that with that scooter if I have to. I have a backup plan. I also have a regular bicycle, okay, that I can pull that same cart with, okay? Now I'm revealing a lot of shit on here that I probably shouldn't reveal, but I'm ready, okay? And if I have to, I'm going to pile that shit on, strap it down to my personal vehicle, and I'm going to go as far as I can. And if I get to where I'm going or where I want to go, and I have another leg or another one or two or three legs to go, I'm abandoning that fucking car. I don't give a fuck. I'm sorry, Mom. I don't give a shit.
Oh, I told her to hit mute a long time ago.
Yeah.
Don't worry, guys. Hey,
But I
Lance has
mean,
got a good point there. Let everybody out of the prisons. That's going to be exciting. Yeah, that's what Michigan Representative Rashid Tlaib wants to do. Yeah, you know. But you're already seeing it here in Oregon and Washington, where they're not prosecuting people or, oh God, there's COVID. We're afraid of COVID, so we can't put you in jail. Yeah, that's
I mean,
another.
most people in prison aren't in there for
Yeah,
violent crimes, right?
unless you're in prison for the insurrection,
Right.
True.
then
Yeah.
those
But I
people are
mean,
in solitary confinement, not getting food, not getting showers.
I'm not worried about people that are in prison for drug charges or tax evasion or things like that. So,
Oh, I'd be worried about drug people that are in there for drugs because, if they get out, they're going to go back to their drugs and they're going to need money to buy it. So, I mean, that's just my point of view. Because you're seeing a lot of people up here in the Northwest get released out of prison. I mean, look at that guy that got ran over all those people in Wisconsin, man. That guy should have been put away a long time ago. He had a rap sheet that went back to the late '90s, man, and they were not like, you know, he had some minor offenses, but I mean, they just kept letting him out.
oh, you mean they have a person of interest. That person of interest you meant?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Shh.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, right.
Yeah, he was
Love
just
how they
having a
praise
bad day.
them.
He was just too stressed out.
And people got injured because of an SUV. Yeah.
Yeah, it was an accident.
There you go. Patriots slowly putting wheels on a snowmobile. That's totally redneck, dude. That's awesome. Hell yeah.
Patriots, you've been talking about that for a while, man. He's gonna get it done, though. He's gonna get it done.
Yeah, Hex Foos, I agree with that. They want to federalize the police. Right. Yep. I agree. Totally agree. But that's pretty freaking hilarious, Patriot. I mean, in a good way. That's pretty cool. Who would have thought? We don't need snowmobiles around here in the area.
but I like his mentality though, because he's a thinking guy. He's you stick him in a cage, he's going to figure out how to get out of that cage. That's the kind of guy Patriots seems to be. And
Around here, they run motorcycles with a ski under the front tire.
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
winter.
I've seen them. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's pretty cool. But yeah, it's you got to change over, shift your resiliency mode over to thinking differently. And I hate to keep beating the dead horse here, so to speak, but it's
Got to do it, man.
It's time, man. It's time, and they're saying that the financial guys that I watch are saying that we're going to see between 20 and 30% more cost of goods come January. A lot of these companies that are and I'm sure people like us know, but some people may not know that companies like Nestle, companies like Nabisco, companies like Kimberly Clark, companies like
Coca-Cola, big companies.
Coca-Cola. They're well diversified. They manufacture. Everybody thinks, oh, Coca-Cola. They make about probably 40 or 50 other products than Coca-Cola. Same with Kimberly Clark. Same with what's that one that makes your dish soaps and your right?
Proctor.
Johnson and Johnson, Procter and Gamble. Yeah.
Procter and Gamble. There you go. There you go. Thank you. These companies make a lot of this stuff, most of the stuff that consumers consume, and it's definitely a monopoly of 10 or 12 or 13 corporations in the world that do this. But who's in control? Are you in control of what's in that grocery store? Hell no. You're not in control of what's at Napa Auto Parts, are you? You're not in control of what's at Walmart or Target, are you? So how do we it's a big question, but how do we regain control of that? I mean, that's not and I've had people say, what different ideas that I've come up with over time that's a huge task. It can't be done. It won't be done. It's not feasible. It'll take too many people. It'll take too much money. It'll do this or do that. Well, I think we're going to have a huge, and people aren't talking about it too much, but we're going to have a huge underground economy coming. I think it's coming. I really
Buy
do.
local.
Buy local, but local markets and local shops have to get sourced from somewhere. And if it's not through the local folks that can make, produce, grow, harvest, whatever. If it's not from them, it's going to come from those 10, 12, 13 corporations, right? So
That's true.
It is coming.
how do we shift it? How do we shift it? So
No, it's been starting since last January. Every month has gotten worse since last January.
Yep.
Every month.
You know what you reminded me of when you were talking about, who runs this and who owns that and these big corporations. Remember that video by the guy that I think we all kind of like watching, Brian? Who owns this company? Vanguard, BlackRock. Or yeah. That reminded me of that video. I think it's called Who Owns the World?
Yeah, that's a good video. Yeah, I watch
Yeah.
pretty regularly.
That was really eye-opening and interesting. Yeah.
There's been many people have made many videos like that over the years, and it's eye-opening, but it's not. It doesn't get into the mainstream. It doesn't get
Of course not.
The mainstream's controlled by the same damn people. So
So I have another question. So, okay, so like during a hurricane, let's say South Florida gets hit by a hurricane, the gas prices, the gas stations, they sell their gas at the regular price until they're out of gas, correct? And if they raise prices, that's called price gouging, is it not?
I think I heard that.
Okay. So if we're on a food shortage and they start raising the prices of food, what is that called?
Supply and demand.
Is it not still?
I'm not saying it's right, but that's what happened.
Yeah, right.
I'm saying it's a disaster situation. They can't price gouge, can they?
Okay,
Isn't that illegal, technically?
But I think you already know. This is a rhetorical question. I think you already know the answer to this. How do you protect against those price increases?
You can't.
I mean, the powers that be that go after the gas station for price gouging in Florida when there's a hurricane and a disaster situation aren't going to go after the big companies for raising prices.
It'll sell for what they'll pay.
Well, I'll tell you what happened in Texas with that polar vortex. A lot of those companies, big companies like what is it, ERCOT or whatever it is called in Texas, got spanked pretty good for that in Texas.
The electric company there?
Yep, ERCOT. I think it's called ERCOT is the regulatory, their grid operator.
$20,000 electric bills for people. Oh,
right.
Speaking of my alarm system,
a lot of those exorbitant bills got squashed because of that. But the only way you can, in the current system, the way it is right now, the only way you can protect yourself against this inflation and this is stock up now. Because you're paying $4 for a loaf of bread now. first quarter 22, it might be $6, $7, $8 a loaf of bread. So if you can buy it and you can freeze it, if you can buy ground beef and freeze it, if you can buy chicken, chicken strips, whole chickens, whatever, and freeze them now, you're hedging against that inflation. But if you don't do it in big enough numbers, it's going to be a pretty big sting in 3 or 4 or 5 months from now. But that's why I keep telling people, I say, and for me, my mentality is I get the majority of what I buy does not require refrigeration, whether it's a citrus source, whether it's a protein source, whether it's, whatever. I've even found outside of my Patriot Supply, I've even found peanut butter powder. Okay. And they sell it in jars. I think it's 16 or 18 ounce jars. Peanut butter powder, right?
I never heard of peanut butter powder. What is that?
It's peanut butter that's dehydrated.
Oh, okay.
You put a little water in it, you mix it to whatever consistency you like, you've got instant peanut butter.
Nice.
Whereas my Patriot Supply has butter powder. Okay. You get a number 10 can of butter powder. I think they're selling them for $35 or $36, right? It's like 93 or 96 servings of butter in a 10, and then what they call a number 10 can, right? It's freeze dried butter, basically. You rehydrate it with water to whatever consistency you like. Now you got butter. They have whey powdered milk, right? With vitamin A and vitamin D in it, right? It's basically dehydrated milk. You rehydrate it with water to whatever consistency is your liking. Now you have milk. Okay. So it's mindset, right? I keep saying that word, man. People are getting tired of hearing me say it, but if you
I couldn't even tell you how much powdered milk I have right now, and powdered eggs. Oh, oodles, pounds and pounds and pounds.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
powdered eggs ain't that bad, dude. I mean,
I hope you don't need it.
Yeah.
I've got so much, we eat it all the time.
Good.
Powdered eggs? Oh, yeah. We eat it all the time.
Tastes good?
Yeah, tastes like eggs. Works in recipes.
Uh-huh.
It's good stuff, man.
Nice.
And there's no expiration date on the powdered eggs. Not that I've found, anyway. So long as they don't get wet, they're good to go.
Pretty low price?
I've been getting them for free, man.
Really? Tell us more about that.
I'm not going to tell you how I get it for free.
Why is that?
Let's just say I barter for it.
Personal supply chain, bro. We can't.
I barter.
Information.
I barter for it. That's all I'm going to say.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go. But
I'll talk to you about it. I'll talk to you about it another time, Scarecrow.
Okay.
All right.
But I mean, you can go. I would encourage everybody, even if you don't want to purchase there, go to mypatriotsupply.com and look at it. Okay. If you change your mindset a little bit and think, okay, well, I really like eggs. Well, how do I get egg powder? I really like butter. Do I need to go and worry about getting refrigerated butter sticks at the grocery store? No, I can get butter powder. They got honey wheat bread flour. Okay. Dehydrated. You mix it, you bake your bread with it. They got dehydrated, well, not dehydrated, but they got flour, right? They got enriched flour, they got regular flour, right? All available to you. It requires
you can can butter. Like you can buy butter from Walmart. You can get oodles and oodles of it and can it in mason jars, and it's shelf stable for years.
Without refrigeration, right?
Without refrigeration, yes. Right. You can do the same thing with chicken, beef, fish, whatever.
Yep.
Pork.
Yep. Well, I say snatch and grab as much as you can now. Maybe learn a couple skills. I don't want to be like, I don't want this to be like a prepper channel, right? But I'm just saying, if you think hedging yourself, it's, in other words, bottom line, it's money well spent now. But if you can tailor the nutrients that you need, whether it's vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin A, proteins, if you can source that with either a dehydrated food source or a dried source or canning and preserving sources, like Watcher's talking about, right? If you can do that now, you're instantly hedging against inflation. And again, if you got food, water, power, maybe some cash and mobility, Your perimeter secure. How long can you go? Do you care about all the other bullshit that's happening on CNN? I don't. Not if I've got all those things in lockstep. If I've got them lined up, then I've just saved myself a lot of money. I'm well prepared, and I'm kind of getting comfortable with maybe having to be uncomfortable, aren't I? So if you think about it, you got to change your thinking a little bit. That's all. You got to change your thinking, and I think about this shit all the time. I'm sure you guys think about it too. What if natural gas goes down in my area? Well, I got plenty of clean burning fuel. I got camp stoves. I've got candles. I've got all these things that I can use. I've got right now. I've got 20. Yeah, I got 20 gallons of water ready to go, offline, filtered, already filtered water. 20 gallons standing by. Right, so that can be mobile in 5 minutes. I can load it up and be mobile if I have to. So,
I like to cook outside every once in a while just to stay in good practice, and with wood, not with briquettes or gas or anything else, just wood.
Okay, what I miss? I had to let the dog out, man.
Oh,
Oh, you didn't miss much.
we were talking about powdered eggs.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Powdered
yeah.
powdered milk, powdered eggs, canned meats, and food sustainability without refrigeration.
Right, yeah. James and I were talking about powdered milk. I don't know, a few days ago. How cheap it is. What'd you say? What you were looking at? You can get like how many gallons out of a? Compare that. And compare
oh
that to
yeah,
what a gallon of milk's costing nowadays. Jesus, cheap.
non-fat dry milk. You can buy it at your grocery store. You can buy it several different places, right? And the last one I bought was a brand called Sanilac, Sanalac, just whatever brand it was. And then I found some at this store called Smart and Final down here. They have a store called Smart and Final, and I found bags of that, over 2 pounds per bag, and it makes each bag makes like 2.6 gallons of milk, right? And I think it was under $6 for that bag. How much is a gallon of milk right now in the grocery store? $4, $3, $4, $5, right?
Too many bucks.
Yeah, money. Yeah, depending on wherever you're out in the country, of course. But you
$2 a gallon here.
how much?
Cheap.
$2.
Oh wow, nice. Right. Well, that's pretty good. Pretty damn good. But think of ways you can like protein, right? Okay, if you can't buy chickens, if you can't buy red meat, if you can't get it, you can't source it, right? Where do you get protein from? Right? Where can you get protein from?
Legumes,
Legumes, beans, right?
beans, guys, beans.
Beans and rice. Get carbohydrates, right? Beans and rice. Well, beans and rice don't require refrigeration, do they? Right?
No.
Nope.
No. But you got instant protein. You can go to the store. You can go to any, even if you want to go to CVS, Walgreens, uh, whatever, GNC store, and you can buy protein powder, which got a whole bunch of minerals in it. That's pretty good for you. Pretty good for you, right? You can buy a
And
whole
store-bought beans will grow more beans, by the way.
right. Yep.
And brown rice will grow more rice. Just saying.
I didn't know that, man. Really?
Yep.
I don't know. I think I got 15 pounds of brown rice. I don't really like brown rice, but yeah, I got about 15 pounds of dried brown rice.
Brown rice is delicious when you're hungry, man.
Whatever's on sale, man. I was picking up for years.
I have lots of rice here.
Okay, I want you guys to go check something out. Okay, just check something out. And again, I'm not. I don't get paid for this or whatever. I do have a link. I'm an affiliate, but I don't. I'm just telling you to go there and check it out. Not my link or anything, But just go to their mypatriotsupply.com, and they have a product called Black Bean Burger. Okay, Black Bean Burger. Now, you would think it's just beans, right? But it's got oats, it's got beans in it, it's got a little bit of sugar in it. Go check it out. My Patriot Supply. Go type in the search window on My Patriot Supply. Black Bean Burger. You can
Oats
buy
are healthy.
number 10
My
can.
my vegetarian buddy used to eat those all the time back in high school. They were good as hell. They had all
Yeah.
kind of stuff in them.
Yeah, I mean, you guys remember last year when I had the wildfires? You know, I had a bug out up to my dad's house. My stepmom, she made those black bean burgers, and they were damn good. To be honest with you, I mean, I think she did the same thing, oats, and there was garlic in there, and some other. They turned out pretty damn good.
Yeah, well, right on the website, if you click the item, you can look at. They have the ingredients and everything else posted right there, and you would be surprised within that black bean burger. You would be surprised. I mean, you
And
could,
they're even better if you fry them in bacon grease.
yeah.
Ooh, anything with bacon grease, dude.
Sorry for cutting you off there.
No, you rehydrate it with water. You form it into patties and you put it in the skillet. That's how you make the black bean burger from My Patriot. That's how you do it. And I've done it. I bought it. So, and it is pretty damn good. And you're getting so much nutrition just in that. Now, what I've done is I've taken that black bean burger and I've made some rice the traditional way, not pre-cooked or bought and made rice or whatever. But I pre-cook it. I know how to make rice manually, right? Pre-cook the rice, put the black bean burger in it, put some of that butter powder in there, right? And it's a tasty damn meal, let me tell you. And it's very filling, and you don't have
Oh
to worry
yeah,
about going to the grocery
that would
store.
make
You know?
that's a good damn alternative to just making dry beans. Make some
Damn
rice,
right.
add
Yeah.
that black bean burger stuff. Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, get yourself a can of
it's
chicken
already
broth.
seasoned for you.
Get
Man, that's
a
smart as
can,
hell, bro.
get a can of mushroom soup or a can of chicken broth. Put a little bit of that in the mix. I'm
Some of
telling
that
you.
French onion stuff that you make dip out
Yeah,
of, that
yeah.
works good too, man. Yeah.
Yeah, some oregano, some basil, parsley. Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Oh
Just deep, bro.
yeah.
Just deep. Yeah. Change the mindset. Change the mindset. Think. Just think a little bit. Just think a little bit harder. And you can get, if you think at the nutrient level, what do I need? What do I need nutrient wise? You know, obviously need water. I need proteins. I need some citrus. I need some, how do I get vitamin D? Well, I've got non-fat dry milk loaded with vitamin D and vitamin A.
Vitamin D, when your skin reacts to the radiation from the sun and produces vitamin D. Should be good on that one.
But unless you're building walls or building houses and you're in the sun all day, just by being outside, you only produce maybe 3 to 5% of the vitamin D that your body needs. Unless you're
If
out.
shit hits the fan, everybody listening ought to be outside in the garden.
Right. Right.
There's your vitamin D. Plant them dry beans.
Well, it depends where you live and what season it
Yeah,
is.
right. Good luck. Good luck with that for 7 months out of the year up here in the Northwest, man.
Well, yeah, I know. Scarecrow can't put a speedo on and get a rainbow flag and run out in the middle of his area where he's at right now. That wouldn't be
Yeah, and
tough.
flipping nickel, it rains up there all the damn time anyway. So.
Yeah.
But you still get a sunburn through the clouds. I'm just saying.
Well, you don't this time of the year up here because of the way the world the earth is the way the earth is tilted.
Yeah, it's just not sunny. The daytime is shorter up there.
But you don't get direct sun because the earth is tilted.
Yeah, it's still bright enough. You'll be all right.
I guess you don't understand.
You're saying because of the angle, you don't get direct sunlight. But if you can see that sun in the sky, yeah.
It's
I think
not
what
direct
Scarecrow's
sun.
saying is when you're, I'm just above the 45th parallel here. We get, in the wintertime, it's not direct sunlight for sure. And I think Scarecrow's probably a couple degrees lower than I am. But when you're up here in the north, above the 45th parallel, I mean, our days are. I checked today, and I think our sunrise or sunset tonight was like 425. You know, we're still not peaked at, you know, December. What is it? December
But you
22nd.
could. The sun came over the horizon.
Well, no, I mean I didn't see it today because it was cloudy and rainy. So yeah.
Okay. I mean, I understand what you guys are saying. Maybe I just feel differently about it. That's all.
There you go. Yeah, mushrooms are good. I mean, they have a lot of different vitamins and minerals in mushrooms for sure. So
One of the first things to pop up in the spring is asparagus, and asparagus roots go down like 15 feet, and they tap into minerals and vitamins and things in the ground that other plants can't reach. That's one of the healthiest things you can eat, asparagus.
well, you guys, we're getting long here, but you guys got any final thoughts on the Decepticon virus? What the impact's going to be? Because, you know, like I said, you know, New York already just declared a state of emergency. Probably won't happen down where you're at, Watcher, and probably not where Scarecrow is, but you know, it's definitely probably coming for Oregon and Oregon, Washington, California for sure. It'll be another, you know, hey, 2 weeks to flatten the curve, or you know,
Yeah.
emergency.
There'll be a big crisis in the blue states.
Yeah, I know. Right.
Well, remember, it was Mississippi and Texas were the first two to announce the governor mandate things were lifted and all that stuff. So I live in a red state, man. A blue city, but a red state.
There you go. Yeah, South Dakota's looking pretty good, man.
Yeah. She looks pretty good, don't she, James?
Yeah. Well, I think
I had to throw that in there.
I think Miss Colorado got in a little bit of trouble today. I don't know if you guys saw that. I don't want to get into it too
No, I
much.
didn't see that. Tell me about it.
Yeah, she made a comment, and they're going after. I see no problem with the comment she made, but they're calling
Can
her
you,
racist.
Bill, can you repeat that?
That?
I couldn't hear that.
Oh, she made somebody's dog's barking. There you go. Miss Colorado down there, you know who I'm talking about. She made a comment, I think, in the last couple of days, and it went viral, and everybody's pissed off about it because she said something about, let's just say, a faith that's not Jewish, Christian, or Buddhist. And I mean, it wasn't a big deal in my mind, but you know, I just saw a bunch of, oh my God, I can't believe what she said. You know, it's like, oh, get over it, man. Come on.
What did she say, Bill?
I'll send you a link. She said something about she saw Rashida Tlaib. I think it was Rashida Tlaib, but in the elevator, or maybe it was Ilhan Omar, one of the two. I can't remember, but she said a security officer or a Capitol Police was trying to get to the door, and he looked concerned. And she said, "Well, at least she wasn't wearing a backpack, so there was nothing to worry about." So,
Oh, that's it?
yeah, that's it. But they're blowing up on that. But I don't know.
They're always going to jump on anybody that's not on the left.
Oh, there you go. Oil in a transformer will run a tractor. I don't know what kind of oil they use in transformers. But that's another thing, you know, if transformers start going out, I mean, at least the big substations and, you know,
They use transmission oil.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's red.
Okay. Yeah. There's your answer there. I don't know if that can run a tractor. I'm not a mechanic, but oh yeah, Lance. Yeah, we still got people up here in Oregon that drive around by themselves in their cars with masks on. It's crazy.
I seen somebody drive down my road today by herself with a damn mask on. And then I seen another guy walking down the road talking to himself, crazy as hell, wearing a mask.
Well, I mean, I've seen people out running with them on too. It's like,
Oh,
yeah,
outside.
yeah, outside they're running.
Yeah, because exercising doesn't make you out of breath. Yeah, you don't need extra oxygen doing that. No.
Right.
God, the insanity doesn't stop.
Nope, it doesn't. I don't know. I think we're headed for a cliff, man. Just my opinion. Hate to be negative, but it's just when you're a realist, you can see things coming, and I don't know. All of a sudden, I did see an article. I'll put it in Discord. I checked it. Probably I saw it like in about an hour before
Yep.
I went live, and um,
It's
some drug.
just like it's just like that meme that I sent you guys on Signal.
Yeah, right.
Mhm.
But right before 2 weeks before they announced this new one, some companies already got a drug to work on it. So let's just put it that way. It's like, how did that happen? 2 weeks before they announced it. Wonder how much money's going to be made there.
Yeah, it doesn't it make you think that it's all planned?
Oh yeah, it's definitely pandemic.
The plan. Yeah, I was going to say that.
Largest wealth transfer in history.
Yeah, hex
Yep.
Hey,
spheres. Don't you want to go out the
don't
window at
forget
that?
about Black Friday.
Yeah, whatever, man.
Well, I'll tell you what I did Thanksgiving. I put up electric chicken fence on Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Keep the predators out and get my chickens.
You got a
It's
lot
all
of
electric.
coyote there.
I have foxes and coyotes and possums.
Well, we
A
got
lot
we
of
got.
times,
I've seen coyotes here. I don't know. It was for like a month here. It was last month. I live right on the edge of a big tree nursery, but I could hear them out there every night because when I was growing up in Washington State, we had 5 acres, and you'd always hear them out there, and our dogs would be barking and
I
stuff. But we
well
got
2 years ago.
most things I worry about out here is red tail hawks coming down and picking my little dog off, man. Because
Right, right.
I've had him sitting on my fence before.
Well, 2 years ago, I had bears there rip the door right off the chicken coop.
Hey,
Oh
Scarecrow, was that electric fence made by Premier One?
Yes, it is.
Good deal. I hear they make a damn good product.
I've never had a problem with this stuff. Right now, I got it set up for 8,000 volts.
just don't be on it, man.
No,
Well, if you do, make sure
I
it's in
had
between the clicks, you know?
I had to pound 2 ground rods in 6 feet, 6 feet deep, 2 ground rods. I'm out there pounding and pounding and pounding, getting around the rocks through the ground. Oh, man, but I got them down there. Yep. Then you run one wire from one ground rod to the other ground rod, and then you run it to the transformer box, and then you attach the other wire to the fence, and you tie wrap it all on. Yep. I wouldn't
Oh,
want
I
to
know
touch
how
it.
it goes. I've seen enough homestead videos to know how them
Yep.
things work.
I put a gate on it too. The gate's electrified too.
Yeah, but you can open the gate without turning off the power, right?
Yep, you can. You unclip it.
Yep. There's like a little handle on it. Yep.
How many chickens you got, man?
I have 12 hens, 2
Wow.
roosters, and 1 goose.
Wow, Goose, is he mean?
No, I
It's
No.
the
had
guard goose, so gotta have a guard goose.
I had two geese, but one got killed last winter.
No.
I went out there and I saw all these footprints, and they look like deer prints. I wasn't too concerned, but they must have been coyotes. And then I saw the poor goose is dead. He he was a gander. He was a good protector too. Man, he used to chase me all over the place, knock me down sometimes. Oh,
Man, I tell you what, where I was going fishing for forever, in the springtime there's always Canadian geese. I mean, they're always in the fields out here after in the springtime, and walking around on the pass is just goose shit everywhere. And I stepped over a log, getting back to a good fishing spot that was all covered with trees and stuff. And there was a mama there and a bunch of babies. And she gets out of the water, and I was just like backing up really quick. I'm like, I ain't gonna mess with a mama goose. No way, man.
No, they even go after my dogs. And they have teeth. They really do. They're small, but I mean, if you're wearing shorts, man, ouch. Oh, God.
Oh, a goose? They'll bite your ass, man.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no doubt, They're 20 pounds of a fighting machine.
There you go. All right, you got any final words there, JC? We've looks like 2 hours now, so I think I'm gonna probably end the stream.
Just got a lot of background noise here, so I'm just kind of listening.
Okay. Well,
Wow,
thanks,
wow, wow.
guys.
Yippee-yo, yippee-yay.
And let's try to do this again next week. And thanks for everybody that showed up in chat. Anybody want to give them a shout out? Got Patriots Patriot, Hex Foos, Lance.
My friend Lynn was here.
Oh, okay, cool.
Truth
trying to
Seeker was
scroll.
here, too.
Nice.
She was.
So anyway, yeah, thanks for showing up in the chat. If anybody watches the replay, thanks for watching the replay. And we'll catch you next weekend at 6:00 Pacific, 9:00 Eastern time for the Stooges show.
Maybe,
Good luck. Leave
maybe
a
in the
comment.
future, maybe even next time, we'll be able to have some people come on the panel.
Yeah, sure, we can do that. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So anyway, guys, I'll talk to you offline. Signal, Discord, chat, whatever. All
End the
right.
stream and stay in here, and we can talk for a minute.
Okay. All right. All right. Peace
Yeah, I can
out.
do that.